have?
Next up, we have our first main topic from Christopher Martinez. Hey, John and crew, best show on YouTube.
Aw.
I don't know about you guys, but I overhyped this movie and had my expectations really high. With that being said, after watching Wakanda Forever, I thought it was a good movie, not great, and it could have been better. Is it just me, or do some of you guys feel the same way? Thanks.
Ooh, well, thank you, first of all,
yeah.
Christopher, for writing that in. We really appreciate it. And, you know, this is kind of some of the stuff I've been hearing, too, of. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure, y'all, I did not get to see this yet. My teaching schedule did not work for this, but we have had a lot of kind of mixed reviews, it sounds like, for this one. Rob, I know you got to check everything out, though, so I do want to turn this over to you. Spoiler-free, what were your thoughts?
Spoiler. Hopefully.
Well, I was very excited for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a huge fan of Ryan Coogler all the way back to Fruitvale Station, and his 3 movies I've quite enjoyed. I was expecting a lot. Now, my expectations for this movie were extremely high.
Yes, I think
I was
everyone's are.
expecting a lot of world building. I wanted to see, like you know what I wanted from this movie? I kind of was expecting a Tom Clancy thriller.
Oh.
The way, because I loved Tom Clancy, and there's a book, eventually the character Jack Ryan that many people have played now.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Pine has played him, Alec Baldwin has played him, Harrison Ford has played him, now John Krasinski is playing him, Ben Affleck has played Jack Ryan, and then eventually Jack Ryan becomes president of the United States in executive orders. And in executive orders, when he becomes president of the United States is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And many groups try and take advantage of that. And I was thinking to myself, okay, in the absence of power in Wakanda, the loss of Black Panther, of T'Challa, I was thinking that we were going to get more of a, I don't know. I don't know why I thought this. This is me in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
But because we had Talakan and we know that we're meeting Namor, and I knew that Wakanda, people were trying to take advantage of Wakanda by stealing their vibranium and getting involved. The colonists were coming in to colonize Wakanda and take what they wanted.
Okay.
And there is elements of this in the movie that I really like, but I found the movie to be kind of a mixed bag.
Okay.
On one hand, I really loved all the performances. I liked the filmmaking on display. And I thought that this is a very ambitious movie. And I was wildly entertained when I was watching this. And I have to say, the people in this theater, you could tell, you could feel how much, like I would say I had a very diverse audience throughout it was a big theater of people, but the reactions in this theater, people were gasping, people were crying, people were really, really affected. Like when, I won't say exactly, they changed opening Marvel, they changed the Marvel logo a bit. And man, you could hear a pin drop, but as soon as it got to the end of that, the sniffles all over the place. And I was like, wow. And you could see how people were moved. And when the movie was over, most of the people stayed in the theater, even though I would imagine a lot of them knew that. And it wasn't, they didn't just stay in the theater. They got up and started talking to each other. Like groups of people were talking about different things. And clearly, I mean, you saw that with Black Panther 1, but there's a lot of people. This movie touches on a lot more things than even the first Black Panther did. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot going on in here. And I don't think a lot of it, I shouldn't say a lot of it, some of it didn't work as well as I would have hoped.
Okay.
It's overstuffed. But, and it's I would much rather see a movie like this that has so many interesting ideas and so many interesting points of view coming from all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I thought I would much rather watch a movie that has wild ambition and falls just a bit short than a movie that has no ambition at all.
Much like an Oreo. I want a double stuffed. I don't care for the regular. Give me more. I want more is more.
Get
out
think
of here,
you're right.
Jonathan.
I mean,
no,
I'm
the
with
frosting's
you.
where it's at.
Love the double
however,
stuff.
you know, I was discussing before we started the show with my esteemed colleague over there, Taylor, and he had some more. He did not like the movie as much as I did.
Really?
And I think Taylor had some interesting, without spoiling anything,
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this episode, Amazon Pharmacy. Now, if you're anything like me, you dread going to the pharmacy. You never know what the hours are. You never know what you're going to pay. You're worried about being stuck in a huge line. And that's why you're going to love Amazon Pharmacy. Amazon Pharmacy delivers a better pharmacy experience that delivers directly to your door and works with most insurance plans. Amazon Pharmacy helps you save time, save money, and stay healthy. There's transparent pricing so you'll know exactly what you'll pay before you pay it. Prime members can also save up to 80% on their prescriptions. And like I mentioned earlier, Amazon Pharmacy works with most insurance plans. And this is one of the best parts. If you ever have any questions or problems, real pharmacists are always available at Amazon Pharmacy no matter what time of day or night. Your medication gets delivered to your door, so there's no more rushing out to the store hoping to get there before they close. Amazon Pharmacy is a pharmacy that works for your life, with meds delivered to your door. It doesn't get any better than that. Switch to Amazon Pharmacy and save time, save money, and stay healthy. Learn more at amazon.com/Campea. That's amazon.com/Campea. Average savings based on usage and Inside RX data as compared to cash prices. Average savings for all generics are 78%, 37% for select brand medications. Restrictions apply.
Taylor, I'm wondering if you might
Yeah.
chime in.
Yeah, let me move you over. Hello.
Of course.
Oh no, I just fixed it.
I mean, you had some really interesting things to say.
Yeah, a lot of people were asking me where my Taylor's take was, and it was very hard to even figure out how to film one without spoilers, because all of my criticisms of this movie involve plot points, and it was just very hard to come up with enough of a video without spoiling, you know, what exactly takes place in this movie. But I will say I was looking forward to this movie so much. Rob, in front of you is the Black Panther helmet that I bought at Disneyland. I have the new Wakanda Forever hoodie from Disneyland. I've been like super, super excited for this movie. So without spoiling anything, I think this might be the most disappointing film of Phase 4 for me.
Wow.
I know. And
More
it
than
just sucks.
Love and Thunder.
More than Love and Thunder, only because I had higher expectations for this movie.
Okay, I gotcha.
And not only did it not meet any of them, it was just, I don't know. A criticism I have that's not a spoiler is we know Riri Williams is in this movie. We see Ironheart in the trailers. Her suit looked like it was from a Nintendo 64 Banjo and Kazooie game. Not that that's bad, right? But the graphics just stood out so bad compared to the rest of the movie. And then another criticism without spoiling anything is there's obviously some scenes that take place at night. And Rob and I were talking about this before you guys got here this morning. And to me, I was talking to my boyfriend during the movie and I was like, is it just me or is it like really dark? Like I could barely see what was going on screen, right? So we just figured after like, oh, our theater, we saw it in Dolby. Maybe it was just like the brightness wasn't turned up all the way. Yeah. But Rob and I were talking before the show, and he had the same problem where he said that you saw what theater did you see it at?
I saw it at a Harkins theater that's local to me, which I really like, the Harkins chain.
Theaters are great.
And I was going to actually write a letter because knowing what you said, Taylor, I am sure sometimes the QC files, the file didn't look right. It looked to me that I would say the brightness was down by at least 35%. Because the colors weren't right either. That's and the definition.
Like the initial drop of Sandman?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the first time, the initial drop of Sandman, it was like that. And what was really interesting is you could tell this because obviously, you know, there are a lot of darker faces in the movie. And the faces were lacking detail. You couldn't see the detail in faces. And I'm like, this film is literally too dark. And I think that it might have been, I would look into it, because it was very frustrating to watch.
That surprises me coming from, I would assume that it's on the theater's end too, because Ryan Coogler does a wonderful job making sure everyone's lit properly, because that's a huge issue in Hollywood of people just not taking the time to learn how to balance, color balance other people, which
the trailers looked
infuriating.
fantastic. This movie did not look like the trailers in the theater.
Okay.
And it was nice, I was in their Cine One auditorium. It's a big auditorium. It's usually a great place to see films. But if Taylor was having the same problem, sometimes, you know what? In this day and age, I don't trust anybody to QC things.
Yeah.
I don't think people know what they're looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if certain things came out where it's either missing the LUT wasn't right, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if that it had to be, because like you said, Taylor, the scene on the beach where Shuri and Ramonda meet Namor, which is a pivotal scene in the movie, you could barely see it. And we've already seen clips from this movie, and I'm like, something is wrong. It's not correct.
Yeah.
And to know that you got it too, I'm willing to bet somebody effed up.
That's very interesting, you guys. Obviously, the chat, too, some people are going wild in here talking about, like, what movie did you see? They had a very different experience. And that's the whole great thing about film, right? It's incredibly subjective. We're all going to have different opinions. So going with that, I'm so excited to tell you guys, go into the comments below. Let us know your thoughts on how you felt about this film, pros, cons, what you liked, what you didn't. I'm so excited to join the conversation on Monday when we have Weekly Hero, so I can, see if we've got issues on that.
Oh, I'm going to go see this. I can't wait to see this movie again.
Yeah.
Because, it is a big movie and there's a lot going on. And I was taking it all in and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to going with Elizabeth and having her see it too.
I'm very excited to go with Logan. Marvel movie on his birthday tradition. So we're going to make it happen. We missed it on the day, but we're going to go.
I do want to say, though, really quickly, sorry, before we move on, there were some positives about this. Namor and Angela Bassett were the highlights of the movie for me. They were both amazing. But again, with Angela Bassett, a lot of people who I had talked to before I saw the movie, they were telling me they could see her. Do you like how we keep switching musical chairs back here? They were telling me that she was going to be, a front runner for an Oscar. But there were no monologues or speeches from her in this film that were not already shown in trailers. So I felt like I had seen what she had to offer before I had seen the movie. So I was just hoping that there would be, one long monologue or one long scene of her just really emotional. But it's like what she did was amazing, but it was already marketed to us.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to go check it out for myself. Guys, let us know what you thought about Wakanda Forever in the comments below.